problem. I mean, any problem. If you say, in most of these instances, a big crowd you be do or no, more.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station. Digital online.
I can say, now maybe see assume say literary coordinator say waha. Baby crowd there was 18 out of 18, maybe was 17 out of 18, maybe 16 out of 17. No more declare at the MI. Number crowd me ma to appreciate for two reasons. Two constituencies anchor 451 now. Plus there are a few I been always pass a brunye on beche and near money at the intino. Now I'm for some year but binti. They decided that I'll better crada marry. A bill so high. I'm a constituency chairman near the intimidate yomo. Domofo say on you manima abeha omo. And for that matter, there are a few we know close to be 50 in number. In different constituencies, I almost supporting him, but when you money anchor ASR declarations, no.
It is for because you are from Eastern Region.
Yeah.
How is Eastern Region?
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station. Hot Digital Online.
Boko cry. There's Eastern Region. I just fight cry.
You know the influence of Brian the Champion in Eastern Region.
Influence me. Influenced by other Brian.
Brian was almost, he almost single-handedly took the region on his shoulder in the 2024 elections.
Really?
Somebody interviewed Brian. Everyone America
he single-handedly
what he did for the party in the region.
Yes, he did. Brian did help.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that he single-handedly could now name the cost of running the campaign in the region. And when your friend say, Mama, PCC go. That be. It goes way beyond that. Now, flag bearer the movement, and there's flag bearer aspirant. He's moving, and he sees the cost. The flag bearer's movement alone through the 30. We went to 32 constituencies. Eastern region. We went to we went to 275 constituencies. The only constituency I am from Plains North, where the regional chairman threatened, say he will even attack the candidate.
Okay.
Because not only Brian is supporting independent candidate against the party's choice.
From
Plains North, yeah.
But there is no evidence to that. Say on a Brian.
I was campaign manager. I have records. I can show you.
Say on a Brian. How do you prove that? Say on a Brian. Because of Aboni Dinti, I think it's only fair if you have any proof to put that out. If
someone I was Ochichi is Kama candidates, no. Who shall know besides I then from Place North candidates in Nisika, no, they come independent. Obi, I know besides. Small more back. Open more me yaba.
Oh, damn it. I mean, I don't know. How do we know so this kind of come out? Independent candidates.
I make a show. The Suma MP Bako say Uncle from Plains North, Uncle Bois. Now, I'm not threatening Executive Jawo, you know, so many normal Bois candidates, you know, to prepare to receive Dr. Baumia, our constituency, who are assembled to him. MP no could do a year, Insuano. And a candidate difference was turned on sign. It's so bad or no candidates. Obenya problem. I have the records here. MP don't Brian and I'm say. And then the car, Sudan receipt at what Obecha. I dare no I signing in house and the Bremio. I can show you all the evidences here. And yes, Brian Bois, it's in region, but the area was over, baby.
Harris,
and that you do, yeah, call your friend is Abitifi. Regional chairman sent him a message, say you need near Cocochia Coma here. They will boycott both in Price and Abitifi. I have the
message here. For the 2024 elections campaign.
Yes, election campaign as I'm America. 2024 election campaigns, and your primaries. They will boycott them Price and Abitifi programs. I have it here.
The reason being?
Being that, okay, there was a fight between Brian and Kwame. And this had entered our politics. 80 years, also your boys in Rigi. Maybe you pursue me and some the BBP Obi. Pursue.
But these are matters when.
But these are the same people who we are. No more person who blame Dr. Baumia for our losses. These are the same people. When they finish, they want to tell you, say, Dr. Baumia and me lose election.
Yes, sir, and yet they don't just blame him. They because Brian Bettenham on my data why he thinks the candidate didn't help you.
Which
in
data?
2024.
Which data? And I'm giving you the facts on the ground of actions they undertook, which set our campaign back.
The fact
now, for say, over the problem because a huge group of people they are one of our solid base in terms of MPP. And I was choosing our name in Elko. Okay, as a vase house now walking as in an Ayomode.
But it is not public knowledge on your mind. That is maybe information you have.
Yeah, but that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, but putting it on a public radio like this,
some of them
it should come with
evidence.
And when he sues, you can prove.
Oh, Pamela, I know read the crown. Oh, Pamela, I know read the
It's real data, and it's for about 7 regions in our country.
Yeah.
The MPP's candidate in 2024 went to me and Winnie, even one constituency.
Yeah.
In these 7 regions, I mean that's like a massive rejection.
2012, how many regions did Anadu win?
2012. At least 10 regions.
Yeah.
He won. Is it 2?
2.
Yes.
Yeah. But he went on to win the next election. And he went on to win the next election. In any case, we should realize something.
But I don't know that one regions, or say in 7 regions, presidential, more winning, even one constituency. That's the point he's making.
I understand, and I can, if I knew you bring up this data thing, I would have brought a lot of data to counter this for you. You would see, say, and yet it's happened severally in the past. It has happened several times in the past.
Yes.
And not a too distant past. You see, election in Lusunu Shim Prekupesa.
Yes.
When your seat in parliament dwindled from 169
to 137.
to 137, that is when the party in government should have sat up, and they were all members of the government. If you could for first term or second term,
yes.
That's one too. We entered government with about 100 seats out of 200. The NDC had 92.
Yeah.
And there were some independents and smaller parties. Ebeka Hunya 108, the face of 92. Next time we created 30 seats. We ended up with 128 seats.
In the 2004
elections. The NDC got 94. We got another PNC, CPP, independence by Johnny and 136. So we appreciate it. And that was the momentum we carried into the 2008 elections.
Yes.
Now, when you started from 169, and due to government issues, behavior of appointees, some reports, capture, it is a general secretary summarizing. This is the reason. By the time you got to 2020, now we're free 169, do 137, 137. To the extent the MP square catch us the other neighbor say speaker the MP no also no ana me do they are nominating as speaker MP say catch us the MP no also to the extent that we ended up with Bagbin as the speaker of a hung parliament. That is the wake up call for MPP. And that kind of thing lose election in 2022 no. Also we lost the election 2 years before.
Yeah, he's on record.
Yes, I was on record to have said that. And what was his basis? When we had not even elected a flag bearer. We elected our flag bearer 4th November 2023. And how could he have known, say we lost the election in 2022? It was
also the challenges in the economy.
Exactly. So if we all agree that these were the challenges that were in the economy, those were the issues, Now say, Anunchi, you don't win some seats in certain regions. Why are we putting that on Dr. Bawumia? Niger Gates, you say a Canadian got 30% crying. Yamina Mikayo. So for the guy, I want to just so for the baby. So for, I don't just so for.
Or a prophet.
Hey, you go for prophecies about her.
No, or a prophet.
Obi, you go for prophecies about her.
Nigel Gaze, a prophet, Nigel Gaze. But I mean, it reminds me of the issue of spirituality in election.
The news, the interviews, and what have you. All packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station. On Digital Online.
That prophecy senior, the bar. It happened.
Sana ya to me pro wa infie odunya me ho a wonti asieda odune ho a wonti asieda osuma ne me koma ila sheduane ne futso eso nyanka so nyamie waseda nyu na mitui waseda nyu na mitui hey sa uma me dru so na dia the freak your fobi nyu ni nane ya ofendia erani na yo Samuma bedru sunadia Nefri diagwafobi Diagwafobi Nefri diagwafobi
Alright, time check is about 56 minutes past 8 o'clock this morning. You've been listening to interviews Nurai Koso Asempa FM, one of our colleagues. It will be any Jojo Rocky Obeng, who represent Kennedy Japan, and also Opariansa, who is also the director of elections for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So getting close to the MPP primaries, now we need to bring you some insight of interviews that will propel the election 31st of January to also elect their flag bearer. But as we go on, now we will bring you associated messages and information as you'll be listening to us this morning. You'll be watching us live. More importantly, there are issues that will not be separated from what we are doing. Immediately we get hold of it, then we will present it as it deserves. Now, in the meantime, U.S. seizes Russian flagged tanker. And after Donald Trump invade the Venezuelan president's province and arrested him, including his wife. Now they were taken to America for a year inquiries and detention. Donald Trump has not unrelenting at all. He's not relented at all. The U.S. seized 2 Venezuelan-linked oil tankers in the Atlantic Ocean on Wednesday, one sailing under Russian flag as part of the President Donald Trump's aggressive push to dictate oil flows in the Americas and Venezuela's socialist government to become an ally. Now, after capturing Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro on Saturday, military raid on Caracas, the U.S. is escalating its blockades of vessels that are under sanctions of going to and from the South American country, a member of the OPEC oil group. That is, the White House has also said its plans to roll up back some of the sanctions that placed on Venezuelan oil 2019 during his first tenure. Now, a week-long chase across Atlantic ended on Wednesday morning when the U.S. Coast Guard and U.S. military special forces bearing a judicial seizure warrant apprehended the Marineron crude oil tanker, which had refused to be boarded last month before switching to Russian flag. And 2 oil tankers have been seized, which also belongs to Venezuela. One with an oil, one of the oil tankers was inscripted with a Russian flag. Into no HSA Donald Trump, ne bonju Russia for so. And so who Russia be, not just who said there's a connection between Russia and Venezuela. And because oil no tahono, see America want to take the center stage to make sure they can grab the oil. Because Donald Trump say they are taking introspection to make sure that they are going to manage the oil and some of the proceeds, and also use some of the proceeds to build the country into American superpowers. As we all know, this time around, the international laws does not count at all when you want to infringe somebody's territorial borders. You go through that one, which is very unconstitutional. American have their veto powers, invaded the country to arrest a president, including his wife, to make sure they are terrorizing their people. And their people were also disenchanted, going on street, jubilating, celebrating the fact that the president has been arrested. Nina borders on security measures. Now, it tells you that what Donald Trump did, for instance, I disagree. But the point is that when such issues arise, now every corner has been quiet. Nobody is tagging Donald Trump on. He cannot be sued or something. That means that a person who also wants to terrorize a country, like African country, you can just come in there, pick our president, and then take him to put him behind bars. So that is an infringement. And also, so Donald Trump has set up a precedent where some people will be emulated. UK has also remained silent. Silence is golden. France can say whatever they want to say. But the more important issue, Donald Trump has done something that historically it has never been recorded. A president sitting with his regime, governing his country, where he's purported to have been terrorizing his people. At the same time, he was dealing in drug trafficking. So he's been arrested. So the country is there. There are a lot of things that is happening in the country. Now the country will be supervised, and interim president will be acting. And the issue of Ibrahim Traore has become one of the bone of contention. I always criticize people singing praises to that gentleman. He's a fine gentleman. I begrudge nothing against that man. But the point is that he used the back door to come into power. Or you use back door to come into power. And so when you do that, it means that he is an illegitimate president. There's no record that people queue to exercise their franchise to voluntarily appoint him to be their leader. Somebody was on the throne. He was giving that amnesty and people's franchise to come and govern the country. And he says what the person is doing is not right. So he came to out him, and he is sitting on the throne. Now, I can tell you for a fact, this young man has received a lot of threats, countless occasions. People want to kill him. For instance, says that if he has an ambition to be president of the country, why can't he volunteer himself and allow the process to work so that you cannot bulldoze your way out and then you think it is going to be an easy task? Because the person that you out him, he has followers. He has apparatchiks and confidants who also have links with some people outside world. So definitely there's going to be a battle of a Samanko. So for instance, I was saying, the young man will do well, and he's doing well. But for me, he should render himself and then surrender what he thinks, I want to build this country. Now we want the electoral process to take charge. I have volunteered myself to be part of the contestants. So we'll start a campaign. I'll remove my military attire and then come with civilian rule so that one will be more pragmatic. People didn't agree with me. Now this young man yesterday, what terrible issues is that now they are accusing Cote d'Ivoire. But I can tell you for a fact, the international world are also behind this coup plot because they think what he did was illegitimate, which is also quite terrible. And it's treasonable offense because it's like a second-degree felony. Obia yanto abamba no abe form mine no teso. Ose me ya the palm I'm for. But your life is at risk. The danger is looming. So I said, Tuari, you are a young man. He's a graduate too. Or a graduate. Go university. So he knows what time is it. So to me and to my people, my advice is that, Tuari, you are doing a good job. But your capacity as a president is invalid. It's purely invalid. And that is why people will be conscientizing some people through an inducement to come and out you or sometimes take your life. So for me, he should take that advice and think about it. I cannot say, because if your life is under threat, one more time, you have children, you have wife. One day, not be born ekusi. So people who hailed Trory, then I believe that you don't understand that principles of natural justice, because if the young man want to govern the country, nothing stops him. He should volunteer himself, go through the legitimate process so that he can be voted into power properly. Like I said, you will be sanctioned through the people's vote rather than using the back door to come into power. More to come this morning. We bring you another detail of information. We have also captured the news of U.S. Where there's an issue going around. Say Oforiatta has been detained and has been arrested. We'll listen to Kwachi Fosu. Yesterday, he granted an interview. Now, Oforiatta left while we were not in power, but the government will pursue a formal extradition request. So let's listen to Kwachi Fosu with TV3 interview. Then we continue and update all information this morning. Once again, I'm extending my greetings to each and everyone watching me live this morning on the social media platform. More importantly, TikTok will be available in the meantime, and also YouTube and Facebook. We'll be acknowledging our sponsors on the flip side. We put everything together and we'll pay you. Stay tuned in for more to come.
Disappointed in the handling of the case involving the former finance minister, Ken Oforiatta.
There again, rule of law. It is regrettable that he was allowed to slip out of this country. By the time we were not in power, he slipped out on 4th January or so. We came to power on 7th January. Even though President Mama won the elections on 7th December, he didn't have any power until 7th January. So there was nothing that he or the NDC government could have done about it. Now, we came into government. Now, the special prosecutor, who is set up by law, says that and then for other actions to be taken. But Mr. Oforiatta is not in this jurisdiction. It is only the Attorney General who has the power to make a formal request for Mr. Oforiatta to be brought down to face these charges that the special prosecutor has leveled against him. That has happened. The Attorney General again on Monday disclosed, last week Friday, I beg your pardon, disclosed that indeed he has made that extradition request and that he expects that the process will be gone through by the American authorities and then Oforiatta will come back. Beyond that, there's nothing untoward that has happened. Of course, we all wish that Mr. Oforiatta was available, as others have been available, for him to be taken through due process. Because mind you, no matter what you suspect somebody to have done, the law says that you have to go through a certain process, and that is important. So that persons who have not done any wrong are not falsely punished, or are not wrongly, I beg your pardon, wrongly punished, which will be a travesty, it will be a terrible tragedy to put an innocent man in prison or impose any form of punishment on him when he has not done any wrong. So even if you think the person has done wrong, you must take him through the due process. As far as government is concerned, due process is being applied. Of course, there can be criticism of how slow it has been. There can be criticism of the special prosecutor's approach. Like all other public officials, they are subject to public scrutiny. So the public is allowed to express their views on their work. But as far as government is concerned, on the Ken Ofori-Atta matter, we have done what has to be done, which is to make a formal extradition request once the proper processes had been triggered by the special prosecutor.
Is this political persecution or a germane fight against corruption? Again,
how can Ken Ofori-Atta shout political persecution? To begin with, the person doing the prosecution was an appointee of President Akufo-Addo. It was his cousin, President Akufo-Addo, who appointed the special prosecutor, not so. And the NBB was not known to appoint adversaries to key positions like that. So we also know about the special prosecutor's proximity to other relatives of Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta. So on what basis are they shouting persecution? Indeed, it is not this government that is trying or that is seeking to prosecute Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta. I'm aware that the Attorney General is looking into other matters relating to him, but we've not reached a point where you can say that you are going to prosecute him yet. But as we speak, the 78 charges that have been leveled against him have been brought against him by the special prosecutor, who is an independent entity created by Ken Ofori-Atta's cousin, President Akufo-Addo. On what basis then?
I mean, I see what you're doing, yes, but so we cannot extricate the government of the day from the process.
How so can we not be extricated? You tell me. How so? The people claiming persecution. And indeed, when Ken Ofori-Atta was in power as finance minister, were members of the NDC not put before court? And why is he special? What is special about him? Why? Since the Fourth Republic began, or even before then, have several former public officials not gone through the same process that he is going through? Why would he single himself out? What is he being persecuted for? Who is doing the prosecution?
Well, because he's a political opponent?
No, I'm saying that. So when Ken Ofori-Atta's cousin, President Akufo-Addo, and Godfrey Dame put the likes of Ato Forson before courts, what were they doing? Was Ato Forson not the leading personality in Parliament for the NDC at the time? So what were they doing? Were they persecuting him or were they prosecuting him? If they can prosecute an opponent and there's no persecution, why should they be treated differently? We cannot paint different folks with different strokes. Understand me? And I don't think that it is proper that we entertain this sort of thing. It is a baseless accusation that has no merit, and same has to be dismissed.
Does this government see an extradition happening next year?
Well, at this moment, it's entirely in the hands of the U.S. authorities. I have seen people attempt to raise persecution. I don't think the American authorities simply renege on their responsibilities merely because we shout persecution. I mean, they know for a fact that Ghana is an open democratic society. Mm-hmm. They know that we have a time-tested judicial legal system. And they have representatives in this country. So merely shouting persecution does not absolve one from being held to account. We believe that the right things have been done on the part of government, and therefore nothing stops the American authorities from extraditing Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta. But of course, we agree that being a law-abiding society themselves, they will also go through certain processes to ensure that all the boxes are ticked. And once that happens, I'm sure that Mr. Ofori-Atta will be well on his way to Ghana to answer the charges that have been brought against him by the special prosecutor.
Hot Digital Online is celebrating 20 years of compelling content. We birthed a dream 20 years ago, and today we are here with you celebrating. It's 20 years of bringing you relevant news, the eye-catching stories, 20 years of entertainment, 20 years of growing together with you. We say thank you for sharing our journey with us for 20 years. We share our brand promise with you by continuing to bring you quality Ghanaian content. Wake up with Hot Digital Online every day because it's 20 years of compelling radio. You are listening to Hot Digital Online, celebrating 20 years. Havens. Biaya Emawa Quenya, Mawone Wabusia Nya Setnapa, Isaiah Dine Papa, Nebosha say free $55,000 per. Rehoboth Havens adaya ya nwene ni ye esi aye mensa damfa enya biaya ya tenakeke eya biaya emawa hotoswo ne bambo fa no se wote mantemu a ahobambo shonko eni je biaye ni asumdwe a eyema wabusua wo ho Ghana fododo na ewa manone eni daso so mbetumi atofie wo Ghana eya kechiri esan ya so di pie de omosonti na no kwasem ne se edise Ghana ni bia tumi ye fiura bebi a woni wabusua benya hotoswo na asan ye japade amechiri ma
Sani ebeye obi bia benya kwenya ayefi renti. Rehoboth ne Ghana sikankrabia hodo aye hyehyɛ sonko a ema wo tofie na watua ne nkakra. Ne hia ne se wode $5,000 beto ase na eno ma wakwenya ma utumi tu kɔtenemu na ne aka no watua ne nkakra. Woma wo mfie du baako a wode betua woka sani ebeye a ahokyere bia mmemu. Ye wo 2, 3, 4 bedrooms a yahye da siesie no se ema wa hotoso bambo enne asetinapa. Mentwentwen wo na ase kra bo wo dache ho ban ne freying wo +447 917 376 631 ana +233 24 476 4499 ebiem +233 55 375 1933 Rehoboth Social Housing yama wani da so se obeye fiura bemu.
This is the kind of good news I should be getting on a daily basis. Thanks to UnityLink, my life has become so much easier. I have on my phone in my palm right now the brand new UnityLink mobile app. It's free and easy to use. And I must say, it's fast, safe, and secure. UnityLink has the best exchange rates. Sending money to anybody is as easy as going through my phone book, selecting the person's name, bam, it's gone. It's really a great feeling when you know you can send money instantly to MTN, Vodafone, Airtel Tigo. Easy. Now I can even transfer money from my mobile phone into my bank account and pick it up at the bank instantly. I can even send airtime to loved ones. The UnityLink mobile app makes it possible for you to send money to over 3,000 locations in Ghana. Now it's time for you to download the free UnityLink mobile app. On Android, go to Google Play Store. On iOS, go to Apple Store and get sending now. UnityLink mobile app. Money go, money come. Fast.
AJN and Co Limited. Wow! Quality accounting and tax services, and now officially recognized as one of the top 200 UK accountants in the 2016 Sunday Times list. Hooray! Come, let's do business and even save you more money. AJN and Co Limited. We are chartered certified accountants and business advisors. One of the finest in the country with quality professional services and excellent customer delivery. Our services include preparation of company and annual accounts, bookkeeping, self-assessment, payroll services, preparation of charity accounts, gift aid claims, tax planning, tax returns, business plans and advice, company registration, preparation of budgets, all kinds of mortgages and remortgaging. And now we are one-stop shop to arrange protection for general insurance, life cover, medical and health insurance, and income protection. We mean business. That is why we are now officially one of the top 200 accountants in the country. Papa Yamaya Budinya Echese Yaduma Soeni, Entibra, Nenya tax returns, and Waduma Husikasim Nina amount. Na Yababwa Amonia mortgage, Naya insurance in Shishaya Efatawo, Wajuma and Wabusuenina. So big companies, small businesses, charities, sole traders, self-employed, shops, and restaurants. Please call Let's Do Business on 0163 447 0495. That's 0163 447 0495 or 0788 307 7742. Our address is AJN and Co Limited, Equitable House, 10 Woolwich New Road, London, SE18 6AB. Visit www.ajnandco.co.uk. Now officially a Sunday Times Top 200 accounting company.
And what have you, all packed and ready to go. Your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
And then what to me grab was over. Tikam Danny Jamie, cause
Stars have you all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
In the meantime, I'll be in church. I'm Mofaba Pinnacle, Minim Song, who you papa. Available, dying, be a Upadaya, Catford, a year £700 inclusive, and that's including bills. This is negotiable. Now, we have female tenant only, tenant long term. And the property benefit close to transportation network, internet facility, use of address for job and bank information, and a private indoor fridge freezer into which me have 074 1380 4048 and a dying war Catford Lewisham £700 inclusive. Yeah, internet war. Moving on quickly now to admit and trying to pay Hot Digital Online UK and pay Minkai will say Unity Link Financial Services Limited having to be a proud sponsor. Now we making sure that Unity Link Financial Services will be on top of all the transaction companies in Binti. Would you seek a money for Unity Link Financial Services Limited? Like I said, cash pick up to 18 banks and all rural banks in Ghana, bank deposit to all banks and airtime top up. So that is why we acknowledge Unity Link Financial Services Limited for you each and every morning from Monday to Friday. Undoubtedly happy to be a proud sponsor. And once again, we love Unity Link Financial Services Limited. Download the apps and then you are good to go. In the meantime, in between time, Abrantia Machi today in the background. Now, a former Minister of Finance, Ken Oforiatta, has been detained by the United States of Immigration and Customs. So that is the ICE, according to a public notice by his lawyers. And on January 7th, 2026, that was yesterday, the former finance minister was arrested in relation to status of his current stay in the United States of America, where the UN Immigration and also the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, as yesterday on the 6th of 6th of January 2026, detained the former Minister of Finance, Ken Oforiatta, regarding the state of his current stay in the United States. A U.S. legal team is in contact with the ICE and expects that the matter to be resolved expeditiously, part of the public notice signed by Justice Kusi Minka Primo reads. Now, the lawyer of the former finance minister, who is also a suspect of many corruption-related investigations and has been declared wanted fugitive in Ghana, and said that he is currently working on documents regarding his stay in the US of A. Now, Mr. Oforiatta has a pending petition for adjustment of status, which authorizes a person to stay in the US legally beyond the period of validity of their visa. Under the US law, a change of status by the method is common. Now, the public is therefore advised to note that he is a law-abiding person and is fully cooperating with the ICE to have this issue resolved. His legal team is in contact with the ICE and working to resolve the matter expeditiously as possible. The public notice issued by Mr. Oforiatta's lawyer further reads, Oforiatta is a suspect in multiple criminal investigations by Ghana Office of the Special Prosecutor, which declared him wanted and placed him on the Interpol Red List. Now, below, the contractual arrangement between the Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited and the Ghana Revenue Authority aimed at enhancing revenue assurance as the downstream petroleum sector, upstream petroleum production, and the minerals and the metal resources value chain. Now, the termination of a contract between the Electricity Company of Ghana Limited and also the Beijing Zhao Chain Technology, that's for the distribution laws loss reduction and associated network improvement project. Now, procurement of contractors, materials and payment related to the National Cathedral, and also activities and payment associated with the contract awarded by the Ministry of Health, initially commenced by the Ministry for Special Development Initiative to serve Ghana Auto Group Limited for purchase after sales, service and maintenance of 307 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 305 CD1 ambulance for the national service. Now, payment and payment and utilization of funds from the tax refund account for Ghana Revenue Authority. Minka Primo Osei Bonsu, Bruce Kathleen and partners. They also issued this statement in regards to their client who is in US of A, legally want to acquire his overstaying visa into Enohonsem and so on. So that is the Justice Kusi Menta Primo Esquire on the 7th that they issued the notice. So the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement as yesterday detained the former Minister for Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, regarding the state of his current stay in the United States. So his legal team in contact with the ICE and expect that the matter will be resolved expeditiously. Mr. Ofori-Atta had a pending petition for adjustment of status, which authorizes a person to stay in the U.S. legally past the period of validity of their visa. Under the U.S. law, a change of the status by this method is common. So that is where it has been assessed now. So Ken Ofori-Atta is at the hands of the ICE, that is the Immigration Enforcement. His visa has expired, so he needs to renew his visa since when his lawyers also has put this statement, say that is what is happening. So in regards to other issues on board, he's been also been accused of some contract he made in Ghana. In Nano, it's also part of that was put on wanted list as an Interpol list, where the government is also filing for extradition treaty to be brought back to Ghana. We will, in the coming days, will unravel the mystery and also issues that will be graveling with this particular matter. The Heavens Mortgage Payment Plan offers the diaspora an opportunity to buy a home in Ghana. It's going to be a laudable decision to get your home, since month we do sika now person to down wa Ghana no. You CBA Maudada $55,000 for 2-bedroom. Now we have $5,000 as payment, and here initial payment. Now bank no will also work with you. More banker and obey and share until Juma way no. They will liaison with the banks in the UK so that at every month biano you also deduct you at source. Now I know you $50,000 on betwama a year company on the bank in betwama company. So you pay the bank $553 each and every month for 11 years. It is giving you a mortgage plan for you to acquire property. Proof of identity, passport, Ghana card, employment contract, residency or work permit, recent passport picture, 3 most recent pay slips, and 1-year bank statement. The minimum is in full-time permanent employment, credit report for Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, if possible or if applicable. In the meantime, in between time, there's a hot digital online. Into open dining be at but what you answer by Fred, a year Rehoboth social housing for now 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, and 4 bedroom detached. Ni nano which me enyebi. But what you from what +44 791 737 6631 +44 791 737 6631 and +233 244 764499 +233 244 764499. Rehoboth social housing and pay Eboichidom. So if you want to buy a property in Ghana, 2, 3, and 4 bedrooms, like I said, there's going to be a proper negotiation, and then you're not going to hesitate to get that opportunity, because you also deserve to be a landlord. You want to be a landlord. You are not going to be self-proclaimed landlord. You're going to be a landlord paying your monies at every month, and then it will take you as long as 11 years. Solid, that is the grace period given to you, and with the negotiation through the banks and the rehab social housing, not just a dime at all, 2, 3, and 4 bedroom detached houses. AJN and Co Limited, a chartered accountant, business advisor, specialist in preparation, annual account, bookkeeping, self-assessment, especially for Uber drivers. So for those of you we are into Uber, na munya kwan and file more taxes no. Mumo the answer for AJN and Co Limited for self-assessment, especially gift aid claim, company registration, all kinds of mortgages and remortgages. One-stop shop to arrange for your general insurance, your life cover, medical health insurance and protection, P45 and P60. And with all shred of doubt, AJN and Co Limited, the bano say obetumi follow taxes number on tema. Bombodian friend was 016344 70495, 016344 and 078830 777 So AJN and Co Limited and pay Ebo Chidom. Father at Union Francis Ewo Frisbee Park into a banner passport one send airline ticket. Union Francis Ewo Frisbee Park. Which means we renew passport amount. Why a passport for France so amount. And also open discounted airline for Modern Free Union Francis Ewo Frisbee Park on 0207 6193843, 0207 6193843, 0793965 6111. Then we have Fatherly Visa Travel and Tours. Omechira Crime 57 Stroud's Green Road, Finsbury Park, London, November 4, 3 Echo Green. Now, send wave money transfers here in Kaiwan pay. Say these days, apps need to be die quickly because of non-compliance. Now, obi oho na so ye jumana the regulations put out there now would defy the oaths and I said the rules are. Like I said, you be in so. Into most of the apps need to be and check they don't last long because of non-compliance. And bombarding answer to me, I download the same with money transfer. Apps with excellent rate. You download promo code HOT Digital. You bring £10 credit. And you know your free credit for your first transfer to Ghana. And you send with money transfer. So go through the apps, download the apps, and you will get a £10 credit. E&J Handyman, about carpentry works, door fixing and hanging, fixing of kitchen wardrobes and wooden floors. And also your E&J Handyman and pay. And so Ebo Chidom from 074324 02117, 074324 02117. And you E&J Handyman and no hon sem. And so no, you're born until now, you're queen man pay. Now, and check the foreign news in Baba, you share the UK report and Sama also Ewo Anope near the British Fonte, United States of America. And so another communique will have my final to drop quickly. Na yantua admit and so say new visa US visa rule. Na some applicants to pay $15,000 bond. And the United States government continue to tighten the country's entry as it adds 25 more countries to its lists of nations whose citizens could be required to post bond up to $15,000 to apply for entry into the country. Now, under the visa bond requirement, which is part of effort by the U.S. government to prevent visa overstayers, citizens of the affected countries are required to pay a bond of either $5,000, $10,000, or $15,000 starting January 21st, 2026. And the amount travelers end up paying is determined during the visa interviews and does not guarantee that a visa will be granted to travel to the U.S. Into any citizen or national traveling on a passport issued by one of these countries whose is found otherwise eligible for B1, B2 visa must post a bond of $5,000, $10,000, or $15,000. The amount is determined at the time of the visa interview. The applicant must also submit a Department of Homeland Security Form 1/352. Applicant must agree the terms of the bond through the Department of the Treasury online payment platforms. into pay.gov. The requirement applies regardless of the place of application. Into applicant should submit A/32352 of post, a bond only after a consular officer direct them to do so. Into the countries that have been affected by this decision is Algeria, Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, Bangladesh, Benin, Bhutan, Botswana, Burundi, Cabo Verde, Central African Republic, Cote d'Ivoire, Cuba, Djibouti, Dominica, Fiji, Gabon, and the Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Kyrgyzstan, Malawi, Mauritania, Namibia, Nepal, Nigeria, Sao Tome and Principe, Senegal, Tajikistan, and then Tanzania, Togo, Tonga, Turkmenistan, Tuvalu, Uganda, Vanuatu, Venezuela, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. So about countries are affected with the list of this bond issue. $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. You'll be paid. So when you go for an interview and you want to travel to a country like US of A, the measures has been put there. Into countries affected, no. Okay, there's a bond you are going to pay. And if you pay the bond, you go. When you don't do that, not when to succeed there, then means I'm fat. Into you decide bond here to sound cruise so into a asema edaho US for new rule on the bar for applicant to pay 15,000 bond to enter the US of A. Countries that were affected and I kind in nano amount. More to come this morning. Hot Digital Online UK as we going on to na ebe 12 million swan pay. So quickly, let me say we are moving on now. Here the naposaba and to count the post-elections a year ebaso for the MPP side. It's about some 23 more days for the election, the flag bearership race at Bebaso, which is going to be a very interesting race at Bebaso. Oh my Ghana. In the deliberations in Bebriakoso, we've listened to some of them. Na yekwim na yetwa gmede so yentie nkratoi.
Unity, sovereignty, truth, and the defense of our collective future. In today's broadcast, we bring you a serious and sensitive report from Burkina Faso, one that reveals not only an attempted attack on a nation's leadership, but also the evolving nature of modern coups in Africa. Coups that are no longer announced with tanks on the streets, but quietly planned through covert communication, foreign coordination, and proxy networks. According to credible intelligence sources, a coup attempt was being carefully planned against the current authorities of Burkina Faso. This plot never reached the execution stage, not because it failed on its own, but because it was detected early and dismantled completely by the country's military and intelligence services before a single shot was fired. The plan reportedly involved multiple layers of coordination. Individuals operating inside Burkina Faso were allegedly working in connection with external actors based outside the country. Communications were ongoing, strategies were being adjusted, and targets were being discussed. Among the objectives reportedly identified was strategic military infrastructure, including a drone command and control center, as well as key figures within the national leadership. What the plotters did not realize was that every stage of their communication was already under surveillance. Burkina Faso's intelligence services had intercepted messages, monitored movements, and mapped out the network long before the plot could advance. In fact, it is widely believed that the country's leadership was aware of the threat days in advance, allowing security forces to act calmly, methodically, and without panic. At approximately 11 p.m., arrests were carried out across different locations. There was no gunfire, no confrontation, and no public disturbance. Suspects were taken into custody peacefully. During questioning, Evidence retrieved from their own devices confirmed the existence of the plan, exposing communication trails, coordination efforts, and intended targets. By the time the public learned of the attempted coup, it had already been neutralized. Reports further allege that the operation had external backing, involving actors who continue to view Africa through a colonial lens, believing that African nations can still be destabilized when their political direction no longer serves foreign interests. The name of a former Burkinabe leader, now reportedly operating from outside the country, has been linked to the coordination of this plot, alongside connections to terrorist-linked networks that have recently failed to penetrate Burkina Faso due to effective preemptive military action. As news of the foiled coup spread, citizens responded not with fear, but with mobilization and confidence. In cities such as Bobo Dioulasso, hundreds gathered late into the night at public squares, declaring their unwavering support for the current leadership and their refusal to return to an era of manipulation, instability, and suffering. For many, this moment symbolized not just the failure of a coup, but the strength of a people determined to defend their sovereignty. This report is not only about Burkina Faso. It raises broader questions about regional security, foreign interference, and the growing resistance of African populations against externally driven destabilization. It also highlights a shift taking place across the continent, where intelligence, popular support, and political awareness are increasingly aligned. Before the full report begins, we invite you to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it widely, and leave your comments. Your engagement helps connect Africans across borders, counters misinformation, and strengthens the collective African voice.
For Captain Ibrahim Traoré, no hour is too late to sound the call for mobilization, not even at 11 p.m.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, on Digital Online.
At Tiefo Amoro Square. Under the leadership of the Hoet Citizens Watch, the protesters are conveying a message. No destabilization of their emblematic leader's power is possible.
Tonight, January 3rd, 2024, we learn with great sadness and with great bitterness that the enemies of the nation have once again attempted to undermine the triumphant march of the Burkinabe people towards their total sovereignty. And we have come out to remind all those who are power-hungry and think they can drag us back into deceit, who think they can drag us back into the suffering we are leaving behind, let them know that the people of Burkina Faso have said no.
We do not agree, and we condemn with every last bit of our energy any attempt to destabilize the power of the people, which is that of the MPSR-2, under the enlightened leadership of Comrade Captain Ibrahim Traoré.
The saboteurs have organized themselves once again, regrouping after their several failed attempts in the past. Despite these previous failures, they have once more found the determination and courage to come together and orchestrate another coup d'etat. Their plan, which was intended to seize power and overthrow the current leadership, was ultimately discovered and valiantly foiled by a group of highly capable and vigilant men, whose swift and decisive actions ensured the coup did not succeed. Because when Captain Ibrahim Traoré came to power, we told the entire world that he has surrounded himself with capable men to save Burkina Faso. Those men have sworn an oath with the people of Burkina Faso that Captain Ibrahim Traoré is the apple of our eye. Today, the coup d'etat has been successfully thwarted.
Have come out in massive numbers. In Bobo Dioulasso, we are currently precisely at the square. For the Citizens Watch, the actions of the MPSR-2 are tangible. Burkina Faso has embarked on a good dynamic of development, and we must stay the course against all odds.
I don't know how anyone can be against this man, who has given his all for this nation. You just have to look at the development that's been underway for the last 2-3 years. So we, the youth of Burkina Faso, we tell them to go to hell.
We have just made a call to our youth, a conscious youth, a committed and determined youth, a youth that says no, and no one will be able to stop our revolution
the popular process that is currently underway with tangible results visible on the ground, and we say no and no.
The Citizens Watch vows to continue playing its role to block the path of all those who are after Captain Ibrahim Traore's power. According to them, it is clear that the popular progressive revolution initiated in Burkina Faso is unsettling to some for more than one reason. But the vision put forward by the MPSR2 is a sure path for the people of Burkina Faso to fully assert their sovereignty.
Before I leave you with today's questions, remember this. One voice may be silenced, but united African voices cannot be ignored. Now, we want to hear from you. Question 1. What does the early detection and complete neutralization of this alleged coup attempt reveal about the strength of Burkina Faso's intelligence system and popular support? Question 2. How should African nations collectively respond to repeated attempts at destabilization that involve foreign coordination and regional safe havens? Leave your thoughts in the comments section. Your voice matters. Africa's future depends on informed, united, and vigilant Africans.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online. The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
Ajingo Mastana watching us live this morning on social media platforms. Anope, the Ben Braco, back in the days, back into time. Now, the British Armed Forces supported the U.S. seizure of a Russian flag oil tanker in the North Atlantic on Wednesday. The Ministry of Defense had said so. The Ministry of Defense, the British Ministry of Defense, also through the support of the seizure of the two oil tankers that was arrested, one with inscription of the Russian flag into the Marinera Venezuelan-linked tanker variant known as the Bella One, was also stopped by the U.S. Coast Guard as it traveled northward through the waters between Iceland and Scotland. Now, the Ministry of Defense said the U.S. asked the U.K. for assistance. RAF, that is the surveillance aircraft, and the Royal Navy support ship, the RFA Tide Force, took part in the operation. The Defense Secretary John Haley said the action was in full compliance with international law, adding that the UK will not stand by as to malign activity increase on the high seas. In a statement to the MPs on Tuesday explaining why the UK joined the operation, Haley said the government was stepping up activity against shadow vessels. In the post on X, the U.S. military European Command thanked the Ministry of Defense for its unwavering support during the operation. A Downing Street spokesperson said the Prime Minister said Keir Starmer discussed the joint operation as well as the recent talks on Ukraine and the U.S. operation in Venezuela. In a phone call with President Donald Trump on Wednesday, in a brief statement, the spokesperson said Prime Minister set out his position on the Greenland during the call, the first to take place between the two leaders since the U.S. seizure and Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro at the weekend. On Tuesday, Keir Starmer told BBC only Greenland and Denmark should decide future of the territory. Now, after Trump also repeated his threat to annex it, the Marinara is accused of being part of the shadow fleet carrying oil for Venezuela, Russia, and Iran, breaking the U.S. sanctions. And the Coast Guard had a warrant to seize the ship. They had tried to board the tanker last month in Caribbean, but the tanker dramatically changed course, changed its name, and re-registered as a Russian vessel. For 2 weeks, the U.S. has been pursuing it. Haley said, by assisting our U.S. allies in taking the ship off the seas, we are protecting the British people and our nation. He said the ship had a long history of nefarious activities linked to Russia and Iran. That Iran was a persistent danger to the UK. The vessel, which has been sanctioned by the US since 2024 and has moved 7.3 million barrels of oil on behalf of Iran. Haley said the proceeds of which had been used to finance terrorism, threat, and instability across the world, and also said that the shadow fleet was vital to Putin's ongoing illegal invasion and war in Ukraine. There's a link between what is happening. So if you look at it from a different angle, Donald Trump became aware of why Maduro, the president of Venezuela, was arrested. Now, Donald Trump made us understand, say, if he assumes power, the war between Russia and Ukraine will be ceased. Until we thought, say, that peace and tranquility will be prevailed. So we're looking forward to see the action of Donald Trump. In fact, he started the mediation talks. But later on, we realized that the Venezuelan country, I don't know whether through sources, because we share report about ship minua, buying US are buying ACZ, now through UK supervision need the help, need assistance US for no. Like I say, we share oil no more to bear 7.3 million barrels ewo Venezuela. No more to the sponsor terrorism. Like I say, we share Russia eshichi. Inti say Donald Trump ayanya filano. Na ocean swa na a constant briefing being winya. That is why he took that entrenched position to arrest Maduro from Venezuela, which is unconstitutional under the territorial borders, and I said the constitutional provisions in the international laws. But he did that because of what they are doing. It is here, and who is going to advise Donald Trump to release Maduro and his wife because they are in detention. And he says that the man said that ever since he appeared in court, he told the judge, say, I fear no evil and act no evil. Into only there, he will fight any fight that comes his way. Into ono Maduro no. Now, from the look of things, Haley, our new a Ministry of Defense or a defense minister, and so any Donald Trump, Prime Minister Nakasa. Now, if your Prime Minister, Tama Chief Maduro, no, he didn't utter a word because he was asked some few questions about why he has kept quiet about the arrest of the president of Venezuela. You saw the action and the demeanor of the president, Keir Starmer. He was very reluctant, and at the same time, he was quiet about it. He just said something that you say that it is the U.S. that have got their issue. Now, from what we know now is that this oil tanker, Yachomono, the UK gave a little assistance to it, and they make sure that it is spotted that the name of the ship was changed, and they brandish the ship, say, it be a Russia for ship, so now a Venezuela for ship. How much is ship me, and so there's a connection that is going on, and the people who rule the world, they have the capacity to do whatever they are doing. And to Usha, you are toddlers that we are crawling into yenum in some year can endujum, but a bar it me bobo say in some no camp, your bar, your friend be mooting. Emrano, your friend be moot. Say mutu, and I say we'll discuss and also argue about it. But we are not going to authoritatively ask them what to do. Now, if you can see what is happening, there's an entrenched position about this Ukraine and Russia war that has been linked to this particular arrest of the president. In the meantime, in between time, Yenti Famille.
My G cool down, don't stop. Time they cool down, don't stop. Plenty enemies don't talk. Silence, money, don't shout.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
Very soon you go pop champagne and hey, badam, Maxiliama, I want to know. Heaven, I wanna ride it. Heaven, I wanna ride now. Heaven, I wanna ride it. I want to know. Heaven, I wanna ride it. Heaven, I wanna ride it. Heaven, I wanna ride it. I want to know. Get up, stand up, do your thing. Don't worry, we are saying. Will it, Seba, who party? I found 3 months while I got it. And tell man for failure, send you a message and start it. Near to Fabian and start it. At your same point.
Bafo don't go me church and pay now. So we go Baba. Give me a Bafo don't go. And then Thursday morning, the 8th day of January 2026. So as we're moving on quickly, we'll engage you in a short time. Now, Edin Komo Anope, we have a lot of deliberations this morning. Bafo don't go watching us live this morning. Akosua Asabia is also watching us live. Jenny, you're also watching us live on TikTok. More appreciation. More to come this morning. Let me also say hi to Mr. Moby of Faircut Barbers all the way in Tooting, Broadway. Loved ones, we've spoken to some people, and some of us too, we've not been able to get in contact with them. But we once again want to constantly appreciate all of you this morning for your contributions, everything for the station and entire management. Will also like to appreciate everything that you have done for us this year. Nana Jeff, I believe you're doing great this morning with your wife and children. I believe there will be a kama and pay Nana Jeff. All right, I'm going to command pay now. Hot Digital Online UK, and by 11 now, Sofo Achampong will bring us the word of God this morning. In the meantime, in between time, we're going to give to God sing. Na edna person na breti for anope hot and I would we've listened to a lot more this morning. The coup d'etat near the akeka ho no honsem I don't know. Yamboni to near ko in manope. Nana Jeff, me on cry me that say. Me sure. Somewhere papa.
Jesus is coming very soon.
Number minga bolebi ne.
God is coming
Clement of Jasmadev Kitchen Restaurant and Bar. Once again, greetings to you and to your beautiful wife, Gifted Godson. 10 o'clock is the time. Anope Minchecha Ajingo. Ajimanie.
Jesus is coming.
Big Willie and Ra Naya Nawoda. And Obi Manso, aka Obi Manso, Big Willie. Anope, happy belated birthday. And Ra Naya Nawoda. And Ra on the 7th of January, Naya Nawoda. To Big Willie, they did bring away on the 7th, sharp. And you know who and Yamabekosu Afiyo. The determination of this year will depend on Big Willie and those who celebrating their birthday initially.
It's coming very soon. Would you be ready when the time is due? Oh, would you be ready when our Lord is here? Would you be ready when the time is due? Oh, the signs of the days proves that is coming. The signs of the days proves that is coming. Rumors of wars, earthquake and famine, tsunamis and flood, killings and sheddings of blood. Oh, it's coming very soon. What a great news that the Lord is coming. What a good news that the Lord is coming. Oh, it's coming very soon. Oh, it's coming very soon. Oh, it's coming very soon.
So that was a beautiful one from Gifty Godson. It happened to be my favorite gospel song of the year and beyond. And okay, let me quickly say, Yenya Penny Van Dyke, Ninya Nimpompa Penny FN Lee Van Dyke no. That down for FN Atik Ewo Ghana and Ra with free mo. Inti Muamunim Atik Ayenya Lee Van Dyke na down for pa no with free mo and Ra Ewo Ghana. Inti may you so rest in peace. Ghana. I believe there are a lot of Kumasi guys in the brain named Atik. Na down for pa Nimpong any Lee Van Dyke, Van Dyke Senior. Enti Yama Bushane Yako and Ra and na Ofrimo. Yako in there 12 million so I be call line no suni dinkomo anope. Yanko 90. Hello.
Hello.
My mother.
Yes.
Now we are.
Yes,
Okay, yente way.
Anyway. Another. Mbetche bia.
Okay, we are jodo.
Another. Mpata. Ma abaya anazi. Asam na kwa. Abaya ntina mebe.
Inda. No, by us then. Baby
so first day. Otro na senye den. Ne brofum. And
ne brofum ye lies.
But mpatali hello. Ne enyim de wale tase. Na ne do ben no. On the reason I did ben de antimata ne free. Otro. The day sabi mama can work the day. How digitize it or yanyame? Maboa.
No correct.
Let me feed the nara. Any time biara babano. O sadara muha samintin oba. Anida asama ken nara. A man of quansam or can nara. Mama nakumape. Na can't send it there.
So what was Uba? Jamie, I
have to this there, make training.
Just Uba, and Jamie, mean, okay, I'm that Bruno do it, you know.
Yeah, when you have go.
Na
can't tell you today. My build a great chira, ya ben. Ya be ye best yazi. Na debi asma ka de mu ko be ya lo. Ina all this no on mo ma kan wa hada. Kwa mo kuma free education. If you do baby no. A great right now, on 39 pounds every month bear. No food or they miss your for ya bay yes one. Until my matters it.
Men fan person. I shall buy a do wow buy.
Personal because yesterday
one S will buy. My matter. One S or your bar. Tim be a bar as mammy bought buyer. In that day. I thought that you have that connections with her. I making the one casano. Why tum do your bar, Nadibia, or Caribbean, or Sabekibin, you know.
Miss or your sister, because
on your idea,
on your idea, what will be today.
How the Yati, how the Akayati. I set to record New Street in Yati. Then more kind when we are not going to tolerate complaints. You've made your point. Okay, my
point is, minimum as some American.
Antina, other country, I brush you on your young queen.
Yeah, minimum as some American.
Our brush you.
Master American. I am pocket lawyer. Into my country.
On other warning.
Mam come. Girl, I'm saying that Ghana in some area, in some east. What? Yeah, what?
Ono chede, in Mkofu away be. But however, one person pen a bonidin. Nti, why did them call? Why did
the master Mumpamekan went say,
okay.
Mambo Biaran is in it there.
Okay.
Girl, I'm saying to even I check a crop away and once mouth and oh yeah, I'm young. Not said that in some and I check not to do her. So you might I check I began crumple or a big factory for that. Such a Biara Bahan of Yabijan. And I'm to Moravia. In terms of catcher, Mr. I will see her.
My mother 2026.
Yes, I true now because I'm American.
Oh, yeah, Obia, why now the honor the for the fashion. By word no kind, how they, me pacho. The young queen, you
you, that's a man fancy and a fashion, wow, maternal, Becca Winton.
And you know, yeah, that's my pacho.
No, Macassin.
Oh, that will be a map on your matter. That's how credit. How credit you face you. How crap you always say that you have a thick skin for all these things. For all these things.
Not shred there or time.
Oh, that you on town. Oh, not town. God, oh, they be also about it.
Go back to her.
On town.
Dickness is on a mention back.
Yati. That's Papa. My matter, my matter. Yeah, my matter. All right. What's up, you?
Hello, Van.
Go yonti.
Yay.
Now who ye?
Oh, me boy, and Yamia to me boy, Yamia.
Me too, you want to pay. Me too, catch it.
Me mo be happy, Papa.
We are Joe Super.
Kaja, Mamma Tate, your friend is saying, me man, Papa.
Oh, you so.
Yeah,
and go carry you ever had no, yes, or best.
Oh, back happy.
Oh, the old car. Can't the only thing I can, I mean, be here.
Mamma Mata. Ah, dear Mamma Mata country and MPP form.
You're going to one country. Why could be a
I didn't ya. I will a friend is saying MPP. Ah, yeah, ma. TPP for them, ya come and quaffy UK, London, and Ghana, and me yapa.
Now you and the chair to say we over now also what family are going to be now and she madam with your board. Obesi them.
Van, Yadi Yakoma.
Ana mi che say, Udi obi ko Ghana, ubesi dem say, nipa no adwin we na woni tim. Che ndo nipa.
Yeah, or the ball betty your bonny, and Tamatanta. Sir, you before the call for a comment, come out big UK debate. Oh, my God. Yeah, Van, Mamma, come out them so. Van, one who between America, the ACC, no, and Britain. The person didn't call actually back. Second World War, and Britain, United Kingdom was in their that time, that day. That I would say that on your that time, America found the better woman. America found the better woman. What could you believe, sir, that America ambassador no working one, the Kennedy, former President Kennedy, ni president, ni papa. No, only so no, I reach me. It's not paying you for it. It's Nazi for German for starting so much deep on it. Okay, me see us sending message to America. Our president no can so democracy is the end. It has finished because British for need be on Beckmeyer.
Okay.
But you get a leader who can stand to fight the dark days.
Okay.
I was infected.
Yate.
Obetimi tina onye we pronounce it Falkland. The part under the whole Europe. That can't preach him pe.
Yeah, so the awuke na no. Then now ne kwakwa ne say.
Ne kwakwa ne say one will say British for near American for no. Omu friendship no e deep. One say we can say a ship here call fine British for can be. One mention and so deep. To be any why I bet you a divide you.
Okay.
One say we can say yeah where today you bet market. I'm going to bet market. But no, they are very strong united there. Be any why I bet me at breaking them.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah, but that one no so yeah. Oh, we are cool no. We are cool one. We are cool. We are now we so be baby too. Now we got to obi no there yeah.
Anche ya kan na man force so nti no. See there. The difference is clear. Omatiase, ombetiase. But when we were propagating this information, now because they treason, say in the first place, no, no. Now they didn't understand my point, but now it is becoming clear. Say his life is under threat, and if you don't take time, they will take him off because this is an external forces. Because me say, get Onima report no see president no be two no, and also our allies.
Yes.
So I was saying these things because I know say that. Treasonable act, So we are. Obia, who will be two, the same thing will be awarded to you if you don't take time. If your mark continue unstable, that is why we were championing the cause. Say we should stop this thing. Then you go through the legitimate means. But people didn't understand my point. But now it's clear. Say, Tuare Nanka saying who said the way I am a sick on Odia grow bekuno.
Yeah, but when him say Babangida, your first former president, also Yoku, or trouble. What trouble ban? What trouble? Or say, who you could not afraid yes, and they will come in your secret to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Which is not good.
Yeah, go your endorse. That's Papa. Thank you very much.
And that's why ever end this one. Omo general secretary no your friend is saying.
Fifi Kweti.
And van or share and this for no and seven the free no muka. Ubetima kai me.
I will see. No tetem, yeah. Now, omo ye bootlickers.
And also you so where they be?
Sycophants.
Sycophants and what him tell aqua where you so Nini
and Nini is sycophant one. Bye. Hello.
Good morning, Valentine.
Fred Onezeng.
Ewurade adom.
Yo, yeto nkache.
Odi ewura fefoforo. Memobia fisiapa. na anope Michel Mawaiko ni adwumapa me won kra kakra bi ma antibata se ne siu no ko siu obaya no okwa onfa sermons no bi mbreme na me obaya lawyer ye gina ho ye twa ne painting no kure se otro no
Mama no or pocket lawyer because nani kunu ye lawyer ni.
Ode kunu ye lawyer ye no.
Into the component of defamation of character. Into no person see you obaya no. But I can say na cho obaya ye ne bantu e na nani mu a onfa
Would you say besi ne ya no da so bo owure kufu adodi efa ayigala say.
And who's besi na?
Oh, me your buy a lawyer, Namijina Mumano.
Defense counsel.
Maminika itia or the Cassiada say. Mintia Sofwakwa David, your brother Joe. Eja to 4, German Boga, Kwame Peckham, or Brempon, Nana Kwame Thames Mead. Now you want Nana Kwame Biwo Homerton. Now say
Kwame Homerton.
Maybe
your friend, but I don't know. I busy,
okay, Michano baby, will be na Michia, ye mano, ye first ladies, the majestic first ladies.
Okay.
Obaya na abadicness.
All right.
That's him, ni envy no matter for you about Michio Munina.
Okay, and you.
Valentine, Enra, the 7th day of January. Afi pepe ya wura John Dramani Mahama ebedi ade na wosha sa kuku nsem ya ne ye keken onim se owura kufu ado abemu ohia ku nsem bebiri pao ya ye numbi ye be de toto efidie so se NDC for exercise na sa ku nsem no ekoso ambre bi kra de Osha no kuja to hun sembi bebem efa wonuma epeja wo ho voter region almost near from saying ya na kokra bi di omo
animo maybe a fee group no no onukra wewu Papa V
Papa V no
ya from secession group.
Secessionist no na edi bi ka home me refi
secessionist but I'll find out
you can say ya okuje to di kra ekodi mu ya kwasi prat ebekika honsem won gina platform so from owura atogubenua eka kire ye say Ghana was ripe for coup attempt a won emeki ye ya siketue bi ni namasia ye nombi ya titibie ene omo betina bemu obi enjoy won asom ye obi entwetwe
from homeland BBB foundation
ya tie ho for
Western BBB
Togoland
Western Togoland
yo so na omo se from
Western Togoland
na wosha owura akufuado ebebu oman the first year 2017 Otumi ede cap eto sa galamsey asem yi so ema Ghana nsuo gina piki one form NDC fu kruya ne owura Mahama esase eye dede ena wabese munyuma omase munyuma gu ena dede 6 months or say 8 months ana Ghana for 30 year dede na owura kufuado esan epeja sa ayiban no a ode to galamsey so no eho ana NDC fu numu no mo start say o galamsey campaign no mo de want to me ebedi enem Valentine 1 year down the line after dede na 1 year any ho appraiser with TUC any Osha Ghana media any just say CSOs na eya hometism election a month to election and then 1 year ababitram galamsey adekon ya amakofir boanom yamin ene kwakubu ahenom ne NDC mpanyinefo nyinara our concessions, yeah, de Portugal and Sione Sase, a seed ne. I him for be a mayati as ye say. One Sase no, one air quack or kuho say in Jai Galamse no, I won't be corner a soldier for a DNM. Na ye can't say so, a besides to be told ya, say 5 forest, ye who excavators, by 2,000, ya ye far temapoto ha. Excavators, I could do 5 you can say forest reserve areas. Ye the soldier for a tramway na ye 2 gallons say a woman. Campaigns no, won't know why no one la, ye that should be such questions.
Yati.
Ebesi ne owura mahama entumi nko ade na enra yenra onua Francis o surprise me kakra se amambo we si saga biara emmemu enti cocaine se mo eba ya na etwa mugu ofusuko achenom e plane bi ehuri koba ya ye se ne tire be pai cocaine you said they ko be ni wante sa saga de nyina
Yati.
wante
Yes.
Amamu no me manako 0 or minus okra wom.
Yati, yes, papa. Hello. Okay. What's up, into you?
Van.
Yes, sir. Francis, good Francis, into you.
Good morning.
Morning, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay, into you.
Van.
Yes.
In the MPP, yes, their party now, I have a party.
What's the more there?
Huh? Yes, their party now, I as you need leaders.
Are they? Then you see.
Yeah, so very guy go can operators go can as a power as second the phone at the workers for my FM. Why will he say that? To do what? Is it to I don't know, to tarnish somebody's image? It's workers no more or into Muka no more. Obi ma 10 years in pure Muka. Oh, young look, the guy should mind what he says, you know, it's not good. Omo MPP na mo my parents and MPP and call your parents, we don't know him. Obenya post into your parents. You should shut up with that kind of utterance. I don't like it. And what I find it strange that nobody condemn them as if we don't have leader. Come on, you can't do this in their space. They won't allow it. You'll be sacked from the party or you'll be suspended. They will put you in order. But she say, yes, sir. I say, yeah, party, a Buga party. Let me go to what happened in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso, they could ever happen. It will happen. Uchisika, also. The thing you can, it will go on like I said, Obiantuno, Obiapen. Come on. When you're elected president, you came to power with a gun. You see, that's what is going to happen. And America, since America, the air Kosovo, Donald Trump, even though there are certain things I agree with him, sometimes, say Greenland or person called Jenny no man. Look, I'm saying, it's not. Greenland is part of NATO. Who just attacking Greenland now? Turkey is part of NATO. It's gonna be a very, very disaster thing for him to do. And America and it's a Congress, right? Congress is initiative. So of Greenland, you will see that he will be impeached. The Congress will impeach Donald Trump.
Okay.
They have the numbers to impeach him because he's going beyond its limits.
Certain limits.
Yeah, because just imagine if Obama was in power. Normal oil no go and Kebende. Because Obama is a fucking man, right? Because Obama is black, why is it? But he's getting away.
Now, Donald Trump is doing things beyond the
ICE wanna abobi to a massive demonstration for America. Bebaso. Omakumobi immigrants be aboni to for America.
Okay.
So Donald Trump now is trying to bring division in this world. Yeah, the word new order na word order na alternation word order no.
Okay.
We should. The only person I was ever active in Alexander O'Brien, LBC.
Okay.
He is always on him because I like that guy.
Yeah.
He's
O'Brien,
championing the right thing.
Do you mid-morning no?
We're from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock.
O'Brien. James O'Brien.
James O'Brien.
Yeah.
James O'Brien.
Yeah.
Or a very accurate. Our no more Kenyan. So our correspondence.
Yeah.
Put him say, Adea why Ukraine assembly. 2019. Only Putin plan say obeji Venezuela. Now Putin akuta Ukraine. It was a planting and was a back and was a but they should know that the Americans are not fools. They will, because 2016 there were election. Democrats will sweep the Congress.
Okay.
They will impeach him.
All right.
That's what I have to say. Thank you.
Francis Udiano. Kwampe kan you.
You do me that shit. Enchia watie phone na communicators ya bomu yina baso. Ya ma me declare chel ma official pa enta pe na nche dante o kapapa.
Dignity antinenka. Ya ba hwehwe no.
Sanity. Na ya bo bibia baso di kan phone na ya chiamo. Mimi na kwa me ma official pa wa ya be. Mo campaign mo ya de papa amene no kwase na nche ne so ne nche dan awa.
Get connected ana.
Get connected.
Now go me gunivo.
Mini amo ho chira omo papa.
Omo na mfomo unwe ni e.
Oh, ni ja. Me fese ni auni apa first na o si boom. E no ni asofo aye ba ko.
O che.
Na platform bia me wo so me ni na wo so na ye boni yem sa say hey. And let's say, as of when I can, and now for Yadana.
I'm going to do baby as an so yet.
Yadana, M31st, Nina Beberry, Yabeko Swas Asre, a clean campaign, Senior Miniana Kaino, Nao Bebe Mejibiano. You day true support. Now, you be alternative. And me side of the Mejitum Sebaumia is the person. I also ultimate neko. Ultimate to me MIN. That's why BBA go for a kafana who be no. But me our trip free say your money to me, no a vice president, no credit to me. And no cry no mono ye who near my papa will say my kind of consistently say one of the innovations and a man made me the free kuma say call Ghana or me kwa man you should be at that time say go kwa anya she you bet me a bisau. And Yama want to be at McCoy. When they see E-Gate a age. Then one say Patrick had the kick and Cindia. Patrick, Sam say, when you're 2x4 be a quaquatna Ghana, and may how be a dream. Now, the Minkofua, because of your mama who bufua ANT or what chooses a Ghana, they don't want to go. Unimunkofua. And Tiana, Unya 2x4 be a quaquatna Ghana, no, you know, men person me cash na me person me catch wa so onim bibia o de bi assessment bo ya ne ma e koso amo hani pa gen no baba ma me starting free a friend say Donald Trump say me ya kan ho asem da bi le ne ma ne bi o ho a aye huhuru ne awo me a Trump supporter man kind of crunch so my kind of favorite me penasem e wo kon bi so na mum eye uza wo kan eye ken any status, current status now, then I'm saying you're detaining for now, my boy.
No, yeah, status, yeah.
Yes, and no, me and Kasame Mame. Na me no Kumasi, Quadaso. Wakoka.
Yeah.
Kobe 6 months. Abrewa was in Casabia, we in course of Betana, where did you join?
Almost it's common to do, but when you over.
Make come so
overstay.
Na manso nyina go. Na areho. E ho no na e o se otimi hwe niema bi ye. And until I catch a foreign minister and say, Seniana Osi Kikan and Semfano. Because Trump is a very unpredictable character.
Okay.
You see, I think we see Tiano. Obetia Ibibia. Oh, and she's only needed a hair care stammer. Oh, the world seen any deal. And some want to make a campo. Oh. And she best say, okay, can one semana why careful. Now say, ya, and we have this restriction if you also. Coco, yeah. No, sign at the Coco to see. Only a personally, you will not be affected. But one month for a good honor. It's your best.
All right.
Now, Master Medicino. Yeah, says your mamma. Oh, says, one she, Nipa Bibekase, who didn't know one skill with a kufuado, with a yakofua, 1 year fair to the two. Until I'm a bar, me pese, marking scheme, no, Eosenka, a do your mamma so, you lazy a costo.
Okay.
It sounds already when you're quiet, be your mind so. I have one in your mouth. It is all banner of first year. Now, also, a year they will display abysmal performance we are. Say, why are they? And then where is 24-hour economy? And then I'm going to do you born to a Ghana, a year dead, and a one, a tray, a friend say, our shit. Being I at you, and more fit. You no policy direction be now sorry, I'm man for now, and no radio station, you know, be bootlickers, sycophants, no more casha, or not your mama buy a one toy, or Brahma for the baby. And a friend say, Bakuya kind of my Jerry. No, let's say, we now to the mother of mama. So why then? I may not as anti my name, what dear. I might up my opaque. Tell the
way, I could cause such a croma and anything.
Oh, on your she, no, I can say,
I mean, you're that's it. Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Morning. By the way,
Jeffrey.
Oh, Jeffrey, now who are?
Yes. I don't know. And also,
young way, bring you Yantunka, now around and now to kind.
Me baby kakra.
One corner. All right.
What's me kapa big time?
No problem.
Yes. Na ayi Kofi Francis. Me pastor Kofi Francis. O see operado akoka sem enti wonte ase. Nka wo de operado de ni si ya wo ko stekaso. What I say? Stekaso nsema o ka fa ayi ogu baba o me ho fi no. Think wo ko no kan no so. Me sana me de no.
Na say principles of natural justice. What
I say?
Okay.
Now, who by come back with the end of the stick up with you say, and go for appointing a finance minister. As to Baumia, I'm like Baumia, take command the what the trouble I name my position. Huh? I know your flat will be at the woman or metro, metro, or who may be who could go back ranching. Who can't, you know, from Minia Francis? No, but no cast yes, the castles of Becca, you know. No, who can't operate on quite yet. And financial to Mr. Oba. No, why is steady?
Okay.
One say, Uber Kai say, I said, we make our Uber Kai almost go board. Yeah, this some of you back. What is so back as I catch you some of you better prison? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the radio.
Okay, I also unya kwa namba mbechino.
What I say here my partner starting. Scandals not starting. Me see, but because boy in one capacity man so say no. I'm telling you, I don't so say no.
Now Unjindi say ono there is just a conveyor belt.
Huh?
Unjindi say on there is just a conveyor belt say a man appointment.
Oh, I me see when you conveyor belt so on the ni mabeji.
Okay.
Another one.
Okay.
So president na hona say bodyguard tutu ya wo ko jiara mbo.
Okay.
Na wo ko jiara one dey wu.
Amom.
Nyo bodyguard na wu. Ntiare dia family o maybe ya say o ye young guy na on 21 na business ma say dey na o bo ayi na o mu ntumi akeka nsem bi na o ye say ntina ne ho ayi ntina same je fi nsem o waka ne sa ba bia na ko hye no me suma no da bi
okay
na ape so me pra offender Trump me penasem me de me pen bibia o ye bia because me we say obi o ye bully no me no
okay.
Yeah, I hate bullies. Namum Minti say amafo omu condemn a friend say Trump me omu condemn a friend say Russia for bra omu invade Ukraine. Minti omu condemn.
Just say amafo been support Ukraine for Russia for.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
No, say I treat me a different.
Okay, and not just unfair treatment to Trump.
To Trump.
Okay. All right.
Unfair treatment.
Okay.
Because because if you say Ukraine is close to Europe. No, how the journey Europe and America almost so a friend says Venezuela so America. Also only Russia and was almost security very, very vivid.
All right, Yati.
So, and to me, more be condemn Trump. Me penasem dear, me penasem, but me person will be a condemn no. So, first say Russia for free, Ukraine also over free Venezuela. That's me.
That's it. Diggins. Hey, now, and Democrat, now all I can say. I had there some chumley. I haven't gone back to here. I feel you say, no, be fine. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's it.
New Year, ladies, name, majestic. And I'm majestic lady.
Majestic.
Majestic lady. Unique honorable. This year, we're doing unique honorable. Unique honorable Lee. Happy New Year. Honorable Nancy. Unique. Honorable unique. Honorable Nyamiaku are unique. Honorable Nenemis are unique. Honorable Fred, unique. Honorable Kojen NC, unique.
Okay.
And the majestic lady, First Lady Dr. Obaya, First Lady dancing in Manana, majestically lady, Mami Sewa, and Sister Sister Mill, Obia, I'm going to be in I can come up with a can you there. And with that, and Papa Honorable Kofi Francis, Wabekan. I'm with that. Burkina Faso for president. And with the reality, there can't be a Yina and Blanda Hawk. That's what that's a glass of winter man. Who won't go? And we saw that audible to folk. No one yet, right there, no. Burkina Faso president. The man over one. As we did on it, if we do your boy, will grow. But one fuck one of
yeah.
I'm buying what it was, what about Papa? Let me not say. It's no, all of the work of Papa, so what all strong. And when you're maybe every Mamma Mata, and what done it, brought the other who ever comes and Yamri, you want to do the ever what it, Yamri, you know, and then you want to what it, Yamri, you know. Now, when you're the look with you, the Kaka American in there. And with that, beautiful. What back to that year 1 year? How about the pound of why you had Magana, or them Pastor Bagana? I want to know what I can go to yeah. We don't know them Pastor Boo. Sabi can see of Sabu. And God of bow of course. What back to that 1 year? 300 I hint to it. Wow, but Yes, they do not when you be there. Or you ever seen as 1 year. Go to bar or go. And about 300 and something thousand million billion. When I hear Piaka, now the Yama come for where we want for that. Where we want for that, never, only 9 years ago, whatever for one about. And Yama free education, a corner yabba yay. Drone yabba school yabba for way. Hospital yabba. I didn't use the water to do. 1 year to go play one back. 1 year, 1 year. If you are yabba, I don't know. We did 100 days, 100 days is minutes, you know. And yet you have way free education. If that is the former card, now I'm in the moment. Yeah, Papa will be out. I'm 30,000 to what?
Okay.
It's in 2020, January, 31st January, it's on the map to Marco 2028. Don't know what I want one class. Where we want for that? Where we want for the way you start though. The main question, how many 3 years in all of that? It's 2028. 1 month, I'm 35 and 1. Yeah, Papa, I will be
okay, Dickiness, that's it. What's up, you into now and call the other license?
Yeah, Val, good morning.
Morning.
Val, Mr. What the time we talk calling this one because you will be no, you go straight to the point.
And so you go straight to the point. Go straight to the point. Go straight to the point. So go straight to the point.
So behind the sound like a boy.
Go straight to the point. Yes, sir. What do you call him? Well, you know the trajectory already. Don't come and complain.
Burkina Faso leader. C'est qu'on se Africa qui baigne total freedom.
By Antoine Mama, no, tie. Mon tu for muntie, tie.
Me pacho.
Banko. Uti krom hai, tie. Uti krom hai. Ku abawa kroma.
Dabio na ku abrofo na ye de hu tutu om se ku ma ha no. Wo mo no na ye hu ntoyen.
Omo ye de broni why ode wa so mu. And osi uye djuma menye djuma why ode.
Va France om tu god wo. France ye tu god wo France.
Omo uso omu tu den.
Good.
Also, to of France. Into what is the import? What is the import? Into what's the import? What's the import?
The whole world, France, only top country, or the president.
Then the only brony better on what was that? You don't back by law. I don't ever do command. We don't want us to have a conversation because why? Oh, so only a branch and a threatening now. And can we be generally soon? Casa Samia, okay. So only a branch and a threatening now.
French countries, 3 French countries now. I try Ghana, Washington, and I'm Ghana, want to Togo instability or Togo. The pressure back.
And then Tina, almost president, no, almost to me, Shaya, and for problem, but then to me,
we acquire or creating stability.
And I say, who creates stability? But stability now creating no. One fact, my papa so bad. To me create.
And also a person was supposed to have the to
ever see. Yeah, the over that's papa. You would never understand what you are talking about. Connected, ain't you?
Yo. I don't pay for me. Chiao Busana also more.
Yeah, pa namuswe.
Namia dum na ya ho ye connected family ni na me chiamo. Nyema ekuyi papa. Be chiam sister opa ya. That thing mama me tikene za be kasa me chiano. Me chiam sister nana. Mam se wa e mani na. Ya friend me chiao. Me chia obremko. Me chia Uncle Joe. And mini account pick up. Kwame division here was those E. Kwame, na mukampeni ya you wow. Oh, yes,
Obeka different.
I'm telling you. In your comment, what's you know? Yeah, my catch me, I said, me, out there, Bohodina, Miss Memoir. The baby, be an in I call. I didn't you know. People are getting connected. A lot of people are getting connected.
Okay.
And I saw for in there, I saw from the organizing program, man.
Oh, okay.
What was that? I was like, no. He's a Christian, but also no, church person. So, sorry, sir.
Yeah.
So, but the fortunate thing is, I saw from the prayer trying to watch here. Because only now, one day, or they are sharing more.
Okay.
And you know, most of the programs being organized by the Asofolo. You know, and yes, we were said, if you call me, you call me. There's a cry, can cry, or when I'm here, the Kapami, the Yofe. Over there, can all go hello. Now, the American is a campaign of penny for the pray. Penny for the pray now, secretly, no, on my best shake. I mean, you need to hide it, almost support. You know, on the 31st, you know, you're busy.
Okay.
Now, I mean, you're very needy, you're back on your name. But the Ghanaian youth are calling on 10. The youth are calling. And I want some baby, you're back on the so your message that for me. You're trying to make me a sad dispute.
Yeah.
And I make a necessary the economics never talk and do.
Okay.
If you also be anyone your best share, Kennedy in the government best and to reality.
Okay.
And with economics no. And you see a banner about the you be try sword. I am mental foundational. The more who says now be a trust sword and that's a real project no. That is what is going to happen. Because economics is talk and do.
Okay.
And do them the catch a Ghana for now. Delegates, any more casa. The most moving year, more the answer with the trauma can. Now can number 4 mine now yet to me acquaint.
That's it.
I first say, we are all ready to support him. Now, partner, it's major and also now acquaint.
Okay.
Now, the Canada major material for. If you are connecting now, and you are. Wow, you catch almost someone getting connected.
Okay.
Everyone are getting connected.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Oh, hopa. Ono go to client to go Ghana. Yeah, we are contacting.
All right.
Yeah, that's pa.
Yeah. Have a nice day, one.
Yeah, that's pa. Nana kwami sudia no. Hello.
Good morning, Van.
Yeah, oba na say.
Adumo na so e.
Me wo pa, yente woni pe.
Afi wo mani enti wo mon kan ye, mami Dickness ne Jefflin. Nyankopon da roma, ya tu wo mon kra, ya tu wo.
Oma ba.
Enti no, ye de nyame asese ya tu wo mon kan.
No problem.
Man say me tia mami Dickness best ye first ladies, ba tia wo mu nyina abom. Na me mema na me mu bo wo mu di na Kwame Obrempon Lee Uncle Joe, Fred. Oh, mama Rebecca sayo, and I know what your man so.
Oh, mama knew some more candy maintenance.
Your mama.
Controversial.
Nice, gentle guy.
Yeah, can be a more person, but yes. You just say, be maintained before.
I do my name, young man,
and this is here, say, and talk with you also here. I tell you now. Oh,
Vano, no bino, a juma war, no, as so. And ye have a bet snatch and pen, Uncle Paul de Amano. What dear ye, Juman? I look at the account. Oh, and we are Monty, I see you. Wouldn't mean you are Bama, you are the same Marcus. Monty, I see, because Nippon Warrior, you my papa or working, make my go bread, and she him said, no chronic here. Okay. And I mean, Nippon sustain ya, or dear back room. So I see, and to the back again. Nim dear sano, sabe. Kwasi ebi bechi to abona kuno free. One more obey and kuno one kumo bio. And swan ran will be abikun.
I don't person kuna ankasa.
So, it's a yenu be a theatre and a yams. Oh, to Montias, yes, sir, we in your bonnet. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, many na kwa David ni obia ofesike mu. Oyin kase na nenya nkoda. Eva.
Yeah.
Anti mata so on pay me ba, man no problem.
Also, ndra also.
On the me kokko to be sue me na me ma prepare me docket already.
Also be sue.
Ma prepare me docket. Anti mata on pay me ba no problem. Auntie Amas wo ho. Auntie Grace wo ho. Auntie Efia Sapo wo ho. Madam Farabobie, Mrs. Farabobie wo ho. Auntie Melo wo ho. Omo nyina pay me ba. Bebrebe. Auntie
But also we see utwantro no na
I don't know brony kind of lines. Yes, yeah, they are true. But who can we say at him?
I will say twi kasa no.
Okay, and your mama cannot you lie.
Wow.
They are not
I will be also be patas no ya also.
Let me say they are liars. It's mechanics,
Ebi a obetumi aka say o. Mama ta dia wo ke die enye no kore.
Vale, it's other thing I need to make us say, we lie. You can't try to need one collect. No, maybe before I could talk a ye can know what they say. Definitely can. I could talk with Sunny that's when I'm here to Yannick. I could talk about that. Obi but Obi Kadia, I am content. That is a problem. Man, some of Becca, and said, Bawumia, ma. So who prepare date na nyanra and na 7 make an 6 into prepare docket ma na dia pokota e 6 na make asasem na and no akra dem be bo abaso aha anti prepare ni ye na me sia wo court because o pensis the kan nyina no e wasa ba me ho afi me akra ma tena fi acha me wo kire me cause me want me evidence
okay
va was it Dr. Bawumia gold board no at the Ghana connect way back in Ghana.
Yeah.
And I'm say a truck here because God board no from Papa Kwame Nkrumah pencil. Na ye president what they say President Mama on the 7th of January 2017. Na
gold reserve.
And I make and say a reserve why you win now 8 tons. But NPP Dr. Bawumia di animu no. What can say and no man come your currency into yet try say you go do no. Ya better see ye near to near be near dear to me. Akoto oil ni ansa $1 to oil near the adeno. You are yesterday and 32 tons. Et ye nya 24 tons on the back. Et to what can say no mom at the year qua a chila a truck. Because I didn't know I'm the kind. Yeah, pay go do not to one young boy, yes, can you? Near coffee pension, yes, the sick car. I'm a pension, yes, over 800,000 at a bed. While brand next can you go? And so I this to phone a woman process cannot be $10 billion. I feel Chroma said you be a couple. $10 billion. Somebody stabilize it, city to dollar. And who can say the Namaya quite chilla? A trap. That's what the Becca court. I'm more than ready to go to court because the person is getting there. What's about me? No evidence. And I'm second evidence to the said. What bar won't mean MP before? I think I won't pop. Man. Won't mean MP before. But baby, 8 years. Then starting I say I could do no. And this near your mama, President Mama appointed no. One in this analysis, but to you data, science and data, me who the echo was it NPP time or no? Nancy say for 14,000 average 100,000 no. I said for 14,000, but I don't know. I said for 94 points. What kind of stupidity? 14 stupidity. And then no, and this time no. I said for 94.8 stupidity. And times 7.5%. I'll be how that's so bulk MPPT. That's what went to me. Kofi Amabua or her, Joseph Yami or her, Joanna Jan or her. What they say, and when you MP, we're through Western region, Muama him for tro letter bread your mama said what is sense I see sue on Pamono. Now wo a jabway na wo better MPP asama. That is a trap.
That is your pachoma to the
because my traffic to me here
and your patron to know the chasso. Nini.
Hello, Van.
Yeah, how are you?
Hey, good. Where are my guys? Kwame NDC and
Kwame NDC is going to Ghana.
Obosumfo, where are they?
Obosumfo, they all ran away.
Oh, they've not run away. They listen. I believe they listen.
Where are they?
Valentine. NDC, are you listening? NDC, our future depends on what we do in the present time. I just received a call from Abeka La Paz. A typical NPP man. He said, P, tell them on the radio, because I go through. Tell them on the radio, Ghana is at peace. Ghanaians are happy. Okay. We celebrated a very good and comfortable Christmas. So he said, I should tell you guys.
Okay.
So I told him that you shouldn't worry. I will charter Ethiopia Airlines for 14 people to come to Ghana for 2 weeks. Because Ethiopia Airlines is what NPP they are used to. I will charter Ethiopia Airlines for them. They said they should come and see what is happening in Ghana. Ghana is at peace. Oh my God. I clap my hands.
Okay.
The 24-hour economy. He said, come and see. 24 hours is going on in La Paz. He said security is everywhere. So, 24 hours is going on in Accra. I don't know other parts of, maybe it's still going on in Kumasi. I'm not sure, but I'm sure it's going on in Kumasi. Because look, we've decentralized the economy. And we're giving government funds to the assemblies. They are using it. Every district will be developed. Look, MPP give only in thousands to the district assemblies and MMCs. But we give sufficient amount, we give them percentage of what they should do with that money. So Ghana will be Krabeche in the next 1 year, 2 years. And when you step in Ghana, it will be like how do you call it? Travaka Square area there.
Okay.
You believe or not?
Oh, I believe you. You need when you speak, I believe.
Valentine, look. We've been able to, 50 agricultural districts, we've been able to give them 4,400 agricultural machines. Okay. So food is abundant. Okay. Look, Obaya will come and shout and shout, but it will not help them. Okay. Look, MPP have killed my uncle. You know what? Valentine.
Yeah.
MPP have killed my uncle. A pensioner. They chop his money. MPP they chop pensioners' money. Even their own coffers. At the end of the election, they don't have money in their coffers. If not because of Kennedy at Japan, they don't have money in their coffers. So I see no reason why Kennedy is wasting his time on this party. He should have formed his own party because he's...
Then you should borrow him.
Yeah. The problem is this man, you see, he's not lying, he's not corrupt, he's not selfish, and he's not greedy. That is why they don't like him.
You sure?
So I don't know the reason why he's wasting his time on MPP. Okay. He should have used that money to form his own party. He get a crowd.
Okay.
We need strong opposition like UP and any party that come. Not MPP. We don't need them.
All right. We hear you. Thank you. Hello. Hello. I got David. Ain't you?
Yo, wow, the Mamudia Juma. Nini, and Mujadi, when you go, when you jump, papa. And I can't afford a wood move you, and one would you move. I said, would you move? If you say, they're working in a way you would, and what would you feed Amma and call for Amagana for? And a Dianaba, never did a quarter bay, a Dianum Dianabay, and then so ye.
Your artificial Yamao, Anna.
Oh,
fertilizer, food them.
And I hope we're called Ghana in Omo planning 2024, 25. No, 50 years on Omo planning, son, Oma, Abo. And I hope we're back Ghana last year Christmas in Nano, Oba planet dada. Nobody, Omo ever Ghana. Obaya, I dear Michelle, Mama Kajina, Chabina, Omina Fish Apasu. The Obaya gave Granum a creamy. Obaya say, not a 14. Obaya less than 1 year. I could do 94. I just have. What say you quiet, you know? Now, what say quiet, you know? Let's say dollar, echo for one. Where's I say you must have what say quiet, what say you? What say for you, man? I said dollar, look for one. Not we, I was here, boy, as a mammo. David. And now, booking a Nino, Michelle, and you, my warrior. Booking a minimum papa. Now, Michelle, and you, my brother, unse Ukravishi. Now, Ukravishi be as in the class, offer and quanche, and as offer now be in your good moon for Quampasso. Says, I don't hear you now, a bit of a Nipabia, almost a 1 year, almost all your back on this go. Now we're not taking. I tell you, I can't go from Tiasino. I don't know, I can't go from Tiasino. It's go over to me, the Oriano, on stop down. Now say, Burkina Faso, also to my you do no many powers be. Yes. Oh, hey, me point no. Over to me, uncle. A buyer, me sound of caution say, I disagree with the steps he took to overthrow a government. Because if you are a young man, you are a university graduate, you will know what time is it. You bet me, cry contested. Because what by cry, ye nayan twaba. You can't go for you or ye juma, there are some buyers, uncle for no ma common what to. Me Kriana Misakasa, me na, me bonichi domnum, me na Misakasa. Those who were talking about you say, oh no, when you say, no, they are all going to run into the carpet. Obiako dodgy. Almost any party. I'm sending a caution to the young man. Say he should do the needful and surrender so that election will take place. Then you can be part of it. You can remove your military attire and be part of the game. And none here can. Mamata, wow, obey Mamata, Ibiano, well, Nameno, may you deaf you buy a Pisiano. Mamata can was be a you deaf you what? All right, ever last call. I've only into you 2 minutes with young pong.
You Valentine, I meet you now, meet you, Madame Ella. Namitia, and you are no more ever casting na Yamay, Zuma in our Shapa. Okay. Now, sending a more concerned John Mahama 1 year, no. Yeah, assessing on every Yamawaye. But he said, I said, Uber to me, actually, one policy. I don't make me show, Missy, pardon me. Dollar near the Oma ye, Yama Bibri, until them do not person Sanka. Oh, Nasani, Oma Casancaza Bank of Ghana Governor Abaja to Musa. A year, Baumia, good. Well, tell me, not the inn, good for forest. Yeah. Any good for oil near the and Ama economy start to say improve. Okay. Now economy start to say pejeni move in 2024, especially the inflation. It is all the catch me say me share John Muhammad idea why na me kabibi na me ya me hu hia why. Okay. Because one can over catch say party odi be man kolai. Almost last year, I'm doing and one no, almost chebium. Almost chebium. It's 292 million. What you call to a party? Think how the BC factory cry now the machines near the government like how produce in the local area. Think I know who buy and fast forward. Okay. I remember who over the idea. You who could be a metriaka because. Kalam say I improve. Okay. LGBTQ I improve. And one Kasano, you president to be the idea of Ghana. When you bring central for in 1 year. 1 year you a central for your born is getting to 20. And 1 year fire service for Combo or Mancasan radio station class FM. journalist when you dream in pa.
Okay. That's it.
Na omaya ye wo mu no. Central for efa. Any CS so for efa. Omo nyina akoteki juicy positions e wa ban no. Ena ne ekoso. Obi attend blind eye. Na omo ye nyokope. Enti so na manwo no obu no. Se e kasi ye bebu nkonta. Ye hu bibi ye be gyina so de ebu nkonta.
Okay.
But when you agree for efficacy and reacting, and not this are gold for oil, any gold for reserve, any gold for forest.
Yeah, the reserves and not channel to us often.
Another 2 minutes in instant.
Yeah, that's it.
2 minutes in instant, Valentine.
Me say, yeah, Ochani at us so for Nabanti. What the Ochna? You talk more.
You are more appreciate.
Hallelujah. Yes, we are fuel for 2026. I need the Holy Spirit. Nyame sunsun kronkron. Hallelujah. Enti ebedi kan ya bompaye. Yede aseda be manyame. Hallelujah. Baby a wo bia ma woni so na fa na aseda ma no. Waboye ho ban. Ewo Yesu din mu. Odi etwa 2025. Na odi ya bewura 2026. Yene yadofo ni abusuafo nyina enti na fa na sedama no danase yade bi a wo yale ya wasa wo yade amanhunu bi a wo fra mu wa yiwa firi mu hallelujah how bi a wo wura mu wa yiwa firi mu fa na